But for now, we got a big game tonight, guys. Game number two. Cavs Pistons. 7 o'clock, or what time? Amazon Prime, so what time will it actually start?
It'll be 7:12 tip-off on Amazon
7:12. The Cavs are...
Yep, 7:12.
Cavs are a 3.5-point underdog tonight. You see the over-under 215.5. And the game is on Prime, so we get not my favorite announcers probably, because they got all off-brand announcers. But so mean and so wrong. Why do I do this? Okay, but let's get to it. The starting lineup. We know who 4 of the starters are going to be. Dean Wade has started most of the games in the postseason. Max Strus has started a game. Who do we expect? Who would you make as the 5th starter? Let's start with Jason. Jason, who would you have as the 5th starter tonight? And who do you think the Cavs will have as the 5th starter?
I would stick with Dean.
Yeah.
And, part of the reason that I think Cade, did you get the matchups, the numbers of Dean on Cade?
Dean did a really good job on Cade.
Yeah.
And he has historically.
Yeah, part of the reason Cade was, what was he, 5 of 15, I think?
5 of 16.
From the field was because of Dean. And
he still had a huge impact on the game.
Well, yeah, he's a terrific player.
Yeah.
But if you can hold him to 5 of 16 shooting, now, it increases your odds of winning dramatically. So I would stick with Dean as the starter. I know a lot of people don't like him. I think what he brings is incredibly valuable to this team, and I think that they will stick with Dean for now. Yeah.
Okay, Mike, who would you start? Who will they start?
Y'all know I'm a Dean Wade defender.
You're a Dean Wade stan.
So this may shock some of you guys.
Yeah, the kids don't say stan, do they?
I think they do.
Okay,
I think stan still works.
I like it.
I don't think Dean Wade can start tonight.
Whoa.
And if I was Kenny Atkinson, I'd put Jaylon Tyson in the starting lineup. Now, Max Strus had a great game 1.
Yeah.
I like the energy Max Strus brings off the bench. I just think he's a change of pace. He's a guy that is best suited coming off the bench. And Jaylon Tyson's
Strus
the guy.
and Schroeder playing together.
Yeah, and it changes the energy with the second unit.
Yeah.
The reason I would go with Jaylon Tyson tonight in the starting lineup is, A, the Cavs need spacing to get the best out of James Harden, to get the best out of Donovan Mitchell. We spent all that time in the first hour of the show talking about how Donovan is not getting to the free throw line.
Yeah.
Do you know what's really hard to do? Get past a Sar Thompson-level defender on the perimeter, get into the paint, and you have 3 Pistons standing there because they're not respecting Dean Wade's shot, they're not respecting Evan Mobley's three-point shot, and Jared Allen's 6 feet away in the dunker spot. This is a lot of bodies to get through. And Jaylon Tyson has not proven to be a consistent three-point shooter yet, but if you're going to leave Jaylon Tyson open, he did finish top 3 in the NBA in three-point percentage this year in the regular season. He has to prove it in the playoffs. I totally understand that. But at least it's a bigger threat from the perimeter than Dean Wade is. And if we're going to get some more James Harden, Jared Allen pick-and-roll action to work properly, which we didn't see it work in Game 1, you need the spacing. If you're going to get Donovan getting to the paint, you need more spacing. If you're going to operate and open lanes for Evan Mobley in inverted pick-and-roll situations, you need spacing. If Dean Wade's not going to shoot, which you've alluded to many times, you need a guy who at least will take that shot. So you have to close out harder, and you have to be more committed to getting out there. I think Jaylon Tyson provides that, and I don't think the defensive differential between Dean and Jaylon Tyson, particularly in this one matchup on Cade Cunningham, is that drastically different.
Wow, you made a big thing about Dean Wade's defense, and now you're saying it's not a big difference between him and Jaylon Tyson?
No, Dean Wade's a better defender than Jaylon Tyson, but Jaylon Tyson had really good success against Dean Wade in the regular season, against Cade Cunningham in the regular season. And so did Max Strus, for what it's worth. The Cavs actually have done, in the regular season and in Game 1, they've done as good a job as any team in the league in limiting Cade Cunningham's points.
Yeah.
So until Cade goes off and has a monster game or a great first quarter, a great second quarter, I just think the Cavs need more offensive room to operate, and I'm willing to make that trade-off in this particular matchup when I wasn't willing to make it against Toronto.
I think Kenny is going to stick with Dean Wade. I think Jason's right. Who they should start, I'm not even going to make an opinion, honestly. All right, I'll make an opinion. I'll say...
When have you ever not had an opinion?
You know what? I'm going to shock you right here. I'm going to say stick with Dean Wade. Because, and here's why, as much as I don't like Dean Wade. I think the Pistons are going to play defense the same way no matter who's in there. I don't think they're going to change what they do. Now, could Jaylon Tyson force their hand more than Dean Wade?
Shoot him at him.
Probably. But at least initially they're not going to change. Jaylon Tyson, with the injury to Sam Merrill, is going to play more minutes anyway. So he'll be out there plenty for them to try to figure that out. And I like, if Dean Wade is out there for his defense At least let him get the rhythm in the beginning of the game instead of coming in cold. Because if you don't start Dean, and let's say Kate Cunningham gets really hot early.
Yep.
Well, then Dean Wade comes in, and maybe it's harder to slow him down because he's already gotten hot. I actually just talked for a minute there where I sounded like I know what the hell I was talking about. I feel like, and I don't, but I sounded like I did. I feel like I did right there.
So I wanted to mention this earlier, and
Yeah.
I forgot in the stats segment. It works even better here.
Yeah.
So the reason I would go Jaylon Tyson is it not just gives you a better shooter at that spot,
Yeah.
but it may help you unlock more from Jared Allen. It may help you unlock more from Donovan Mitchell. It may help you unlock more from James Harden. I want to read a stat from this is from Jackson Frank, who is an NBA statistician guy who covers the Sixers, whatever. It doesn't matter where it works.
Yeah.
He had this stat. I want to read this word for word for you.
Yeah.
The Cavs only recorded 1 assist in Game 1 via the pocket pass.
Yeah.
That was their lowest since acquiring James Harden.
Right.
They only got to the rim at a 26.4% rim frequency in Game 1, their 6th lowest rate since acquiring James Harden. If Detroit is going to play that specific style where they're negating the roll
Yeah.
and having the weak side corner come in and muck it up so that pass isn't there, the guy in the corner has to be able to make threes. And I'm going to steal a word from you, Bull. Dean Wade in the playoffs and made 3-point shots
Yeah.
go hand in hand just like peanut butter and onions. And I love Dean. But
I love him.
He hasn't made shots in the play.
No.
And all the stuff he does is invaluable, doesn't show up in the box score. But if Detroit's going to play that style of defense, that guy in the oppo corner has to be able to not just shoot confidently and make some of those. I just trust Jaylon Tyson more.
And Dean will not shoot unless he's completely open, like 100%. And even then, he seems hesitant. He will never shoot a contested shot. Never.
Unless
almost
it's the
never.
last second.
Unless he's got no choice.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it is weird. By the way, I was going to say you can't trust that guy because he's got 2 first names, but you and Jason both have 2 first names also.
Jackson Frank.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jason Lloyd. Yeah, Mike Lucas.
Is Lloyd really a first name? That's a weird first name.
Yeah.
There's been a million
No,
people.
I know, but it's weird. Like, who would want to name their kid Lloyd?
It's an old school kind of last name, but
It's a hoity-toity first name. Like,
I mean,
if your first
I don't know
name-
why I know this because I'm not a really fan of the movie, but Dumb and Dumber, one of the characters is named Lloyd.
What do you think my nickname was in college? That movie came out in college. Everybody called me Lloyd Christmas.
I thought it was going to be Dumb and Dumber. And I was going to ask if you were dumb or dumber.
You and
Mike Polk.
Yeah, right. Well, you guys didn't go to high school together, did you?
College. We
I
were
know.
at Kent together.
I know. Let me ask you something else, guys. Tell me if this is is this nothing, a little thing, or something? Just some observations that could be totally unfair about Kenny Atkinson.
Okay.
I feel like he has terrible body language in the playoffs. And especially when things are going well, looking at him, he looks very uptight. He's like sitting there, he looks tense. I see what's his name, the coach on Orlando.
Jamal Mosley?
No, not Orlando, on Toronto.
Darko.
Oh, yeah.
I like that guy.
Yeah.
He's out there, it don't matter what's going on in the game, he's strutting around with confidence. JB's always pissed off. So that's just, they said it on the broadcast, not Iron Eagle, no Eagle. He's right. Even when the call goes their way, he looks pissed off.
Yes.
But he's steady, and he's standing there, he doesn't look stressed out, but he's just angry. That's his style. But Kenny is just like, sometimes you see him and he's sitting on the bench and he's like this, and he's like, he just feels really uptight. I also think, I noticed that, like, when guys came off in the Toronto series, I noticed this. I didn't really notice this as much in the Detroit series. It seemed like when guys come off the court in the Toronto series, again, the Toronto coach, he's talking to the guys, like, they seem to want to hear what he has to say. And I feel like the players just walk past Kenny. There was one time I saw him trying to talk to Evan Mobley, and Evan Mobley just seemed to keep walking. I know this is completely ridiculous. I'm not saying, I know it's a bad comparison. But the way the players react sometimes walking off the court almost feels David Blatt-like. I know it's way too far. I know it's way too far.
Way too far.
I know it's way too far. I'm just saying that was a vibe I got for a second. Is there anything to his chemistry and and the chemistry of the team with him at all?
I think there's more merit to your first point than the second point.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
he's very nervous.
Okay, yes, right. The second point we're throwing away.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
the
I
second
thought that was a bigger stretch. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
But the first one, he does, right? Doesn't he look uptight out there?
Yeah, I think there's.
And
I think
doesn't that
there's-
rub off in some ways on the team, or can it?
Well, I mean, I'll go back. I told you
Yeah.
last year. I got a call when they were down 2-0 to the Pacers.
Yeah.
I had an executive.
Oh, right, I remember
call
this.
me.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, go ahead.
What their body language is awful.
Yes.
Why are the Cavs act like the Cavs are the better team? Don't they know that they're the better team?
Right.
And now is one play to the other? I don't know, but yeah, I mean, yeah,
It feels like he's holding his breath whenever there's trouble.
I mean, and I like Ken. Like I like
Yeah.
Kenny. Even in pregame and postgame press conferences, win or lose.
Yeah.
He joked. He came in the game 2. He came in with an NBC hat, right?
Yeah.
And Chris Fedor goes, Kenny, your hat game's pretty strong. And he goes, I just haven't slept in 10 days and my hair looks like crap. And that's literally what he said. So, like, yeah, like that's just kind of how he operates. He's an older dude from
Yeah.
a family with 6 brothers, and they're from Long Island or Staten Island.
I don't know. What's
like-
that? Are people more stressed in Long Island? I mean, maybe.
No,
I don't
just
know.
he's got like the uptight New York. I mean, you're from New York, you know.
I
Like
don't know. I don't feel like, but I'm not uptight at all.
you started the show saying you're a pirate. Dave, I forget the
That doesn't
adjective
make me
you-
uptight.
But what was the
In
adjective
fact,
you
I'm
used?
the opposite of uptight.
I'm just like
I put everything out there.
I don't think. Granted,
Yeah.
I agree with you that in a perfect world,
Yeah.
I'd rather have my coach not sit on the bench and look nervous and just
Yeah.
his
Body language.
but it's not. It's just his manners,
Demeanor.
demeanor, and his manner. Like he just that. I'd prefer it not. Spo's the perfect
Yeah.
example. Spo,
Right. You never know what's going on with him.
Yeah, so I prefer it like a perfect world. I don't.
Ty
think-
Lue. Yeah, I didn't. He
Ty
was
Lue.
always chill on the sideline.
Greg Popovich the same way. Like
Yeah.
But there have also been some crazy. I don't want to say schizophrenic. That's not the right
But
word.
to
like,
me, I'm not saying you can't be crazy. Bobby Knight was crazy. He was
Yeah.
a great coach. And to some degree, JB is a little nuts on the side. I'm not saying crazy is
Rick
bad.
Pitino.
Rick Pitino's crazy out there. But he doesn't look stressed out.
I don't know. Pitino's like.
Pitino gets fired up.
Pitino. I mean, he's got the bold like. I think
He's a
Pitino's
weird-
closer to Kenny Atkinson. I'm saying I don't think it necessarily means you're not doing your job or you're not.
No, I know that. But Kenny Atkinson looks scared to me at times. Rick Pitino doesn't look scared. He looks pissed.
I don't think Kenny's scared. Nervous is the word.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Nervous.
And
He has a nervous energy
and
about
frankly,
Yeah. He should be.
he should
His
be,
job's
yeah.
on the line.
His job's on the
If
line.
they lose
This
the series, is he gone?
Depends on
no
how
idea.
it goes, but
I have no idea.
possibly.
We got one more Cavs segment coming up, right?
Yeah, we're gonna do it at the very end. Yeah.
Okay. Because I got
We're
another
gonna
question.
make
for
our
you.
picks at the very end.
I got another question for you guys.